And we are live. Welcome to the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing. Joining me today, I've got my two lovely co-hosts. Why don't you two introduce yourselves?
Yo, I'm Mac. Thank you guys for joining us. You can find me on Twitter at AZ Sports Fiend. That's FIEN.
And I'm Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at JSanDiego. That is with two O's. For the first time on this podcast, rocking a Diamondbacks hat because we swept the Brewers. Let's go.
Let's
I mean, we are
go.
Cardinals podcast, but we got to give a shout out to the Diamondbacks.
And
Hell of a game.
it cannot be seen right now because I am not going to show my camera, but I am dressed head to toe in the Diamondbacks mascot costume. So how's that for fun?
You're Baxter right now?
I'm Baxter right now.
Do you work to furry conventions?
No. Oh man.
What are you drinking, Jackie? Real quick.
Oh, me?
Me? Okay.
A little Coors Light, you know.
I was about
Trying
to
to
do
watch my
Coors,
figure a little
but
bit.
I will do the Miller Lite. Thank you for sponsoring us.
Jackie said, "Little old me."
Little me?
I am not drinking right now. I've got water to my side.
But you're drinking Sunday because
Yeah.
we played Sunday.
We played Sunday, and I want it to be known, I never believed in this team. Everything I said was a lie and a joke and was parody. Yeah.
We told you, folks. We all picked the Cardinals to win, and that's never a good sign. But
We picked the Cardinals to win, and I had a rousing speech about why I thought we were better than we were.
Our resident pessimist folks picked us to win.
Every time I have an elaborate speech, this happened with the Panthers game a couple years ago too. Every time I have an elaborate speech as to why we're going to win and why we're going to kick ass on Sunday, we fall apart in pathetic fashion.
Pathetic.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I know.
Hey, after we went down 21-3, we won the rest of the game 16-14. So, boom!
Boom!
Shout out everyone in here. Nick L, Mikey, Ron Boyd. Thank you guys for jumping on over. We really, really appreciate it. Jackie, this is, I think, the first week we did the picks, right? With all three of us here. And
yes, did I win?
It was a tie between you two. And
we didn't pick scores.
We did pick scores, and you won tiebreaker. Congratulations!
Yes, let's go.
You picked it right on the dot. 51 total points.
So what I'm hearing is, if I hadn't picked the Cardinals, I would have won.
Same with Jackie, and you had actually 54 total points, so you were right there. You guys were, it was neck and neck doing the tiebreaker. So, congratulations, Miss Jackie, for the first. I was gonna say annual, but weekly pick'ems. Jackie's
I haven't won
winner.
in so long.
1-0. There we go.
Let's go. I will drink to that. Cheers, everybody.
So let's start it off with your awards. Who do you got? I was trying to think who you might have this week, but no, I don't mean to introduce your drinking. You're about to pull that beer up to your lips. Go ahead and go on. Yeah. The hat looks good, though. I like it. The little teal in there. Oh, look at her. She got the little pinky going on the steps. I see you.
When in doubt, pinky out.
There, you're Coke now.
Yes. So, big dick player of the game. We're just gonna jump into it.
Fuck it, let's do it. I want to know.
Big dick player of the game goes to my guy, my dude, that I wish I started in fantasy this week. Michael motherfucking Wilson.
Yep.
He's made it known that he's here and he's ready to fucking take the league by storm, baby. Big ass game by him.
A fun little fact that I haven't seen anyone say on Twitter so far about Michael Wilson is, so he caught all seven of his targets last week. Yep. Since week 1, he's caught all 13 of his targets. Let me see, all 13. Yep, all 12 of his targets. Sorry, he went 2 for 4 on targets week 1, but since then, all 12 of his targets have been completed. So as a rookie wide receiver, we're seeing him blossom into, Josh Dobbs is at least, wide receiver 2, because currently right now, Marquise Hollywood Brown is on pace to have a career high in yards at 1,015, which would best his career year of 1,008, which, quietly he's been turning into Dobbs' favorite target aside from Michael Wilson. So that's good to see.
And I think people were so quick to forget just what kind of pace he was putting on last year before he got injured. I mean, before he got injured last year, he was looking like a machine for us. Not Wilson. Brown was just having a marquee year for us, and as soon as he got injured, all those get put aside, and he's always the weakest, the most overrated player on the Cardinals right now. Because who else would it be? Or this, that, and the other. And it's like, no, he was putting up great numbers until he got injured. And I think it's frustrating to see a narrative built just because people are so quick to forget.
It's a very like, what have you done for me lately league. That's kind of what we're seeing with Kyler Murray as well. Just people kind of forget, like, he was Rookie of the Year, MVP candidate, and he's just a stellar talent that we haven't seen in a long time. Now we just look at him like an overpaid diva. But the narratives are changing.
We had arguments with Giants fans over the offseason. Oh, I'd rather have Danny Dimes than Kyler Murray. You sure about that? You sure about that?
You sure about that? You sure about that?
I don't know. The fucking Seahawks had to use Drew Lock during that game on Sunday, and they still got fucking annihilated.
11 sacks. 11 sacks. Damn,
how do you lose 24-3 when the guy who gets the most touches on the other team is Drew Lock?
And that's kind of the most frustrating thing is that we had the fucking Giants in our grasp, man. We could be easily 2-2 right now. So to see us lose that game, it's definitely frustrating looking back on. But coming up, we have Cincinnati, and Cincinnati, Burrow has been literally the worst quarterback in the league. He's got the lowest QBR right now as we speak. Did you guys see that list put out by I'm not even gonna name the guy. I don't know if it's PFF or what. The power rankings for QBs, and he had Zach Wilson last, which cool.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs second to last. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, Burrow was ahead of
actual fuck. Sam Howell exists.
And the whole comments are like fucking trash, because this whole list is garbage. You're gonna have
Sam Howell exists, Bryce Young exists, Desmond Ritter exists, fucking
Joe Burrow this year. Tell me fucking Dobbs isn't better than Ritter. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, I saw that shit too, fucking dumbass.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
The narrative is changing though nationally. We're playing hard, and everyone thought that this was going to be a team that was going to get run over week by week. And we're out here, and even though we dropped down big to San Francisco, that's I would say they might be the Super Bowl favorite right now. KC, their wide receivers are fucking dog shit. They got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Pacheco's looking pretty good. But the best overall team, I would have to say right now, has to be San Francisco. And just to see the way we bounce back, moral victories are what they are. And in this year, we're probably going to be talking about that more often, considering
going into this game, we were really hyped. It's hard to look at this loss as a big disappointment because we still held our own somewhat against a very dominant 49ers team.
We did. We didn't.
There was a point where we were in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're running out your cornerbacks, Marco Wilson, and Keitrell Clark are your top two guys. Not to hate on them at all, but when you're going up against, the firepower that San Francisco has, and Brock Purdy, just rewatching the game, so many open targets downfield.
He's got some Tom Brady luck in that regard, man.
I mean, he was 20 for 21, I believe. He had one incompletion, and that was to start the third quarter. So that was a little frustrating. We couldn't get a little bit more of a pass rush. Only had one sack, Dennis Gardeck. Dennis Gardeck stat of the week, because this is like what we do now with Dennis Gardeck. He played 20 snaps on the game Sunday against the 49ers, had 4 tackles and a sack in just 20 snaps. So this guy is producing no matter how much playing time he gets. He's been doing it his whole career. So I would like to see him bump up a notch, snap count wise, even if it is at the cost maybe Zaven Collins, Zaven Collins played 26 snaps, I want to believe, just over 50%. So I do like how Nick Rawlis isn't just force feeding guys when we have depth at certain positions. Cornerback, you're going to play Marco Wilson and Keitrell Clark. You're going to have to play them 98% of the snaps, which they both did this last week. So, but when I feel like we do between Victor Dimukeje, Zaven Collins, Gardeck. It's nice that we have a little bit of depth on the outside linebacking core. And hopefully, I want to see more from Dennis. He's 20 snaps against the best team in the league. I need to see that bump up. I need to see him over 50% of the snaps moving forward because that was only 36% last week on Sunday. Garrett Williams is going to be coming back, the rookie cornerback. So that's good to see for Syracuse to add a little bit of depth back in the back end of our defense. So am I freezing right now or am I good? I don't know.
No,
you're good. I just don't have anything to add.
I thought that's why I paused for a second because like, all right, what kind of shit has Will got to say? But no, definitely agree. And since you brought up Nick Rallis, I just want to kind of point this out that as a 29-year-old first-time defensive coordinator,
29, that's great.
I know we're the same age. So, hey, if you're not married and things don't work out,
you guys are old.
Shut up. Anyways, but no, that he's coaching circles around fucking Vance Joseph.
Oh my god.
A former fucking head coach. He's like fucking Denver is abysmal. I mean, granted they won this week finally, but just the fact that Nick Rallis is a better defensive coordinator right now than Vance Joseph. Also,
I will say a lot of Cardinals fans are really like, oh yeah, Chicago is going to get the number 1 pick because they're just that bad this year. Chicago's schedule for this.
What? Hey, Joe.
Sorry, we're doing shout outs to anyone who's on the chat right now. Sorry.
Chicago's schedule for the rest of the year is fucking easy as shit. Like, this week they face the Vikings. Week after that they face the Raiders.
The Vikings are playing right now.
No, they're not.
They're beating up on the Commanders right now. The Bears are 27-3 on the Commanders right now. That's hilarious. So they're going to get their first. I can't say that they were up the same score last week. They faced the Panthers week 9. Whoever decided to make that Thursday night football is the devil. They face the Vikings again. They face.
So who's
us?
Will right now? Who do you think, if we had to pick one team to finish with the first overall pick, worst record, who would it be? If you're making a case for the Bears not being it,
Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, Carolina.
It's not bad. They're trying to trade for a wide receiver. I mean, that's going to help Bryce Young.
But I mean, Carolina. I mean, you got to remember their pick goes to the Bears.
Wow.
Oh yeah, dumbasses.
No, I think the Broncos are certainly my pick. Although I think that goes to the Saints, doesn't it? And I think
shitty football.
The Giants have enough talent around them that I don't know necessarily if they'll be this bad, but I think they certainly have a case for a team that could definitely be the number 1 pick. Because I'm looking at this schedule right now. I see maybe 3 definitively winnable games for the rest of the year. I see the Commanders. I see the Jets. I see the Raiders. Well, I guess they play the Commanders twice. And that's about it. Definitively winnable.
Who are you talking about?
The Giants.
Okay. Yeah.
They'll win some games. But
I think the Panthers are fast track. Yeah.
Because I think it's really going to be the Panthers.
Yeah.
If the Panthers get the number 1 overall pick, well.
Yeah. No, they could. Oh, they wouldn't. Who'd you say had their fucking pick, Will?
The Bears.
The Bears.
Why?
Because they traded their first round pick this year to get the first round pick last year, or first overall pick last year.
Wow. But do you think that they take a quarterback?
Bears?
No, the Panthers. If whatever high pick the Panthers get.
So the Bears get the Panthers pick. So if they finish the worst record, the Bears get the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, so let's just say the Bears get like the 2nd. And then that would be the Panthers pick, right? Someone do in the comments, do the math for us.
So really the Panthers and the Bears could be in our situation that we were thinking, prior to the season. You're going to have, the Texans pick. Texans look pretty fucking good. CJ Stroud looks like he's going to be a franchise type quarterback. If the Bears really have, the Panthers pick, I didn't even fucking think about that. That's fucking pretty crazy. It would be interesting to see what the Bears would do. Do they love Josh Fields or would they stick with him or what? But
Which is
No, I
funny
mean,
because I feel like the Cardinals made it like an okay thing for like, if you don't believe in your quarterback year one off the jump, you can fucking get rid of him and start all over again.
yeah, no, I mean, I think I feel like the sorry, no, what was I supposed to say? The Justin Fields agenda going into this season was insane. To have a guy who, mind you, if I remember, I didn't even have a single 300-yard game until this year. We talked about as if he's this guy. Oh, he's the guy who'll change a franchise. Oh, he's the guy who'll turn around because he has like a few good highlights. Every game. That's like saying Gerald Green's going to be the next MVP of the NBA because you see a few cool dunks from him. And it's like, no, that's not how this works. Just because you have a few good highlights and you can put on a show doesn't mean you're the top dog. There's more to it than that. And I was very frustrated to see people over the offseason saying, oh, they're going to figure it out. Oh, they're going to get it together. It's like, no, their team is built like shit. Their quarterback hasn't proved anything.
Yeah,
the Bears
made a good point in the comment that this is his year 3. If they end up having a top 3 pick, they should move away from their fucking field. So that is definitely like you said, he hasn't shown it with his arm yet. Yeah, he's been explosive with his running game in the past, and he's put up big fantasy numbers. So people get kind of hyped on that, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to throw the ball in this league, and maybe this is a start for him. 12 for 20 in the first half. Just target DJ Moore, I guess. I guess that's the solution right now for the Bears.
The Chicago Bears this year is what everybody thought we would be. That's what frustrates me the most. They are the team that everybody thought we would be.
It's a good thing that us as Cardinals fans sitting on our Cardinals podcast are talking about how shitty other teams are when the national media, like you said, the national media, everybody else, even our own fans were saying that we were going to be shit this year. And yes, we are coming off of a loss on Sunday.
And it's a good thing that nobody on this podcast said such a thing, or else we'd look really foolish.
But no, we're coming off a loss, and it's not even that we're bummed or frustrated.
Yeah, no, I mean,
more of just it's a good game. We did some good things. We did some very good things. We hung with a very good team. And I hate, as much as I hate San Francisco because they're a divisional rival and all, you got to really give them credit because that Shanahan offense is very efficient. And just the fact that we didn't get blown the fuck out, or we had no turnovers, right?
No.
Nope, no turnovers, didn't get blown out. That's a fucking win in my book. A moral win.
If this was 2 years ago and we were on this podcast following the same game, during that season, I'd be
oh yeah, it's all perspective.
I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna throw myself off a cliff. What an abysmal game. But I mean, right now it's like, no, I didn't come into this season expecting anything. I came into the season thinking we're going to be abysmal. Why bother? But we're actually fun right now, so I don't really care that we lost.
Well, you brought up a good point, Jackie. The Cardinals are the 4th best team in giving up turnovers this year so far, and Josh Dobbs is one of 2 quarterbacks, Brock Purdy being the other, that has not thrown an INT yet, who started all 4 games. So that is definitely something promising. That's what you have to do. You have to be able to take care of the ball, give yourself the best chance when you are talent depleted. I think we've performed above our talent standard or expectations up to this point. And that does give a lot of credit to the coordinators, the coaches, and the buy-in from the players, to come in here, and when the whole fucking media, the football world's, against you and doesn't believe in you, and, you're over here, fighting your tails off no matter what. We're putting up a fucking fight every game. And, the Bengals come to town. I'm expecting a win. I never would have thought that, a month and a half ago. That was written off as a fucking L. And a lot of that is due to Joe Burrows. Is he injured still? Probably. But that offensive line too. The one thing about the Cardinals is they're going to be physical. The San Francisco hit us in the mouth to start the game. That's the first team this year that has matched our physicality to open a game. And it kind of took us almost a half to get back into it. But that second half was very, very physical, competitive from the Cardinals. And that's what we like to see, because I mean, at the end of the day, no one's still predicting us to be a playoff team, and neither are we here on this podcast right now. But we're going to surprise a lot of teams, and if Cincinnati doesn't get their shit straight, they just lost by 24 to the fucking Tennessee Titans. Come on, man. Don't come over here and fucking, I think the Bengals are still favored, but I don't know. I don't want to be too optimistic because I feel like this could be kind of a game where, I would, as a better, want to be better. I'm staying away from this game. I feel like I can kind of go a few different ways, and just hearing Burrow's comments yesterday talking about how it's a must-win game for them. If they drop to 1-4, in that conference, it's going to be hard for them to fight back.
And at that point, I mean, you have to have the conversation of, do you even keep your guys out? Do you
D-Mac?
The Bengals, do you even keep your guys out? Do you even still play the season as if you have a shot?
You do, but I think at that point you're going to have – if they lose to the Cardinals this week and Burrow doesn't look any better, I think there comes a point where you have to rest him a week, no matter what.
I mean, isn't he fighting off an injury or something? Why is he even on the field?
Yeah. Well, that calf he fucked up in preseason really wasn't expected to start the year, came back and kind of aggravated it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. When Jamar Chase doesn't have a touchdown yet,
there comes a point where you need to say, look, I know you want to be a competitor. I know you want to play, but for your own health, you can't be out there. No. That's how fucking Baker Mayfield's career got fucked up, because he had that massive injury, and he has that competitor mindset. He's like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play, and nobody was smart enough to tell him, hey, you're going to fuck yourself up worse if you go out there.
I can give a shout out to the Bucks, dude. They're playing inspired football too. No one really would have expected that, and it is good to see Baker Mayfield kind of get a little redemption. He played good to see the Rams at the end of last year, looked halfway decent, getting an opportunity, and the Browns are just a fucking dysfunction, especially when he got drafted there. That was no surprise, I don't think, to anybody that situation failed. But to see him in Tampa, they have a sturdy regime there. And they have wide receivers around him, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. So it's good to see. They got a halfway decent defense. So good for Baker Mayfield.
Yes, I agree. Good for Baker. I think it's just a testament that, you can either go to a new situation or a new situation can come to you where people believe in you and you can really turn your career around. You can turn your narratives, your image around.
AKA Josh Dobbs.
Yeah. But Josh Dobbs, but I'm saying, like, even Kyler Murray, like, the new regime comes in and I just feel like the narratives around him have shifted, that no one's really so down on him anymore as of late. And it just makes me excited to see him come back and see what he can do under this new coaching staff.
For sure. And I think that's what gets everyone excited, like I see people say, okay, when Kyler's healthy, trade Dobbs. Like, honestly, you got to hold on to him throughout this year, because you have to, if you're this regime and coaching staff, you have to evaluate Kyler for a certain extended period of time. And they obviously like Dobbs, and he's coming in here and he shut a lot of us up. I didn't believe that he would be as good as he was, but I was definitely one to say, let's cool our jets a little bit. Let's give him a chance to succeed. If we believe in Monty Ossenfort, you have to give a little bit of time to see what he can do. And, he's been in the league a few years now, and he's turning heads. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a couple teams wanting to fucking trade for him at a certain point, a.k.a. fucking New York Jets. Look at their situation. They have a great defense, great running game, one of the better wide receivers in the league, and Garrett Wilson. So that it feels like still a quarterback away, but Cardinals are in a very good spot to have Kyler and a backup quarterback. We haven't had a situation like this where it felt like it was actually a younger backup quarterback that, if something does happen, he can step in even more for a game or two and be competent.
I just want to read this comment real quick. Crazy that all the Kyler hate started with the stupid Call of Duty joke. Can't wait to see him in his new offense. So yes,
free mind.
I agree. I hate that Call of Duty jokes got blown way the fuck out of proportion, because now anything Kyler related that I see on Twitter, in the comments, all of these uneducated fucking dumbass other fans of other team people. Ha ha ha! Call of Duty. Fuck off. You're so fucking original.
You know,
Guys,
Anyways.
guys. Did you know that Kyler Murray, he's short? He's shorter than a quarterback. Isn't that funny? Isn't that
It's fucking
hilarious,
hilarious.
guys?
It's fucking
I think
hilarious.
I'm the first person to notice that.
Which is funny because I'm pretty sure Bryce Young is shorter, and he looks a lot smaller, like body wise.
definitely not as athletic either. Fucking
Definitely not as athletic, but hey, I was told that he was gonna be better. Real quick though, I do want to apologize. We're babysitting my great nephew, and he's been crying on and off. So if you hear a baby crying in the background, my bad.
somebody give that baby a nipple.
See, I was gonna take one for the team, but you know it's all draft beer coming out of those.
What was there something that you guys were disappointed in last week, or something that maybe caught your eye that is promising that maybe hasn't really been talked about a lot? I don't know if there's. I thought it was pretty impressive. Nick Bosa lined up against Paris Johnson most of the game, and he didn't have a sack. I think he had maybe one tackle on the day, if I'm correct. So that is something to see him keep growing into a franchise tackle. And it wasn't his perfect game, by any means, but you're going up against probably the best front seven for front four in the league. So I thought that was definitely a good thing. And then the Cardinals running game, they were the first team to rush over 100 yards against San Francisco this year, and now James Conner's tied with Bijan Robinson for third most rushing yards in the league at 318 on the season. And the Cards are the sixth best rushing team in the league currently, in large part to Conner and Dobbs as well. Dobbs had 40-something yards last week. Conner had only 50-something, but we're averaging 143.5 yards per game. And half of our games, you're 3/4 of the games you're going up against fucking Washington's front seven, the Cowboys. Look at what the Cowboys have done. Aside from us, they fucking beating doors in. And then San Francisco. So hopefully Cincinnati is still trying to find their footing here this next week, and we can kind of put this whole a full game together, because this team deserves kind of a laugher. We're seeing these wide receivers get involved a lot more. One of the better running games in the league. This defense is doing their best with what they can do. But I think it is like if we had a game that Tennessee had against Cincinnati last week, that would be really, really good to see. I'm not expecting it. I feel like Cincinnati got embarrassed, and they're ready to bounce back. And the NFL is always about bouncing back, really, in any sport. So I'm expecting a tough game, but it would be nice, come away with a 2-touchdown win here sooner or later. Yep,
Yeah.
the penalties, Nick. Sorry, not to bust in, but
No,
the two worst penalties games of the season were on the road. Game 1 and then our last game, both on the road. Both horrible in the first half. I think we had 7-8 penalties the first half of this last game. They finished with 9. So, that second half, we really turned it around, I felt like. Kind of got weathered to the storm. You're playing from behind, so it's tough in that respect. But for us only to have one penalty that second half, and, we got it together in the second half of Washington penalty-wise for the most part. But it is kind of a theme now. The home games, we've done really good with penalties, it feels like. And then the away games starting really, really sloppy that way with penalties.
Real quick, breaking news, we got a Logan Thomas touchdown in this Thursday Night Football game. Former Cardinals quarterback legend.
One TD under his belt. That one passing TD he had, was still, I don't know how he still fucking made that throw, but of course, Steve Keim would draft a fucking tight end, make him quarterback, and he ends up being an NFL tight end.
Well, I thought Logan Thomas was a quarterback in college.
Well, he was, but to end up being a tight end, it's just Steve Keim is drafting. That's all I got to say.
Keim gonna Keim.
Man.
No, but to answer your question about like disappointments in this game, I would say just the corner play. I mean, Marco, man, he looks like shit. And I hate to say that he looks like shit because I don't want him to look like shit. But man, and even, as high as we've been on Keytrail, and I, said it last week, I think that, just he's a 6th-round rookie. We're just happy he's not giving up the big play. He got fucking hurdled by McCaffrey, and I'm like, oh, there's your welcome to the NFL moment there, bud. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. But it's Christian fucking
happens. It happens to everyone. Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. The Cardinals. This kind of was mind blowing me. Of course, Brock Purdy was 20 of 21. Yeah. He targeted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different Cardinals defensive players in that game. 9, I guess, if you count Andre Checkery, excuse me. But they all those passes against our defenders all finished with a passer rating well over 100, which is not what you want to see. But at the end of the day, Michael Wilson did finish with 151.5 passer rating while targeted, since he was 7 for 7 last week, which was the highest in the game from both teams. So that is definitely great to see. And we talked about earlier in the year, one of the biggest things we want to see is hopefully Michael Wilson by the end of the year could develop into a potential wide receiver 1. And who knows, if we get one of those high draft picks and we draft another wide receiver, let Hollywood walk, or, I don't know, it's his, contract year. So it's going to be interesting to see, but Michael Wilson is definitely the number one thing on, my radar to start this season. It's been a huge, I think we all kind of knew he had the talent, but knock on wood, just stay healthy, buddy.
I know. And, coming into the season, I thought, I had my skepticism because it's like, okay, is he balling out in camp because he's the real deal, or are our corners that just ass? But no, I'm loving what I'm seeing, and this is what you need a big body wide receiver for, is to go up and get those contested catches. Especially too, because Josh Dobbs is our quarterback, and he's not the most accurate, like put it in the bucket type quarterback like Kyler. So our receivers can't really make the adjustments like Wilson can.
What up, MJ? Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of those passes where if it's behind Hollywood or behind Rondell, it's hard for them to make those plays with those shorter arms. It just is what it is. Yeah. But you're seeing Michael Wilson laying out all over the field. Fucking that sliding TD was, was a thing of fucking beauty.
They challenged that, right?
Yeah.
Dumbasses.
Right. Is Gardeck the leader of the Cardinals defense? I think he might be the internal leader, but I do think it's probably at this point still, what's the middle linebackers and White. Fucking, I don't know why I'm.
And Colby said it. He said Kaiser White, Buddha.
Yeah, Kaiser, and I mean Buddha's not on the field right now, so currently I think it is Kaiser. His first year here, you're wearing the green dot. Gardeck, though, I mean, I don't know if people are just strolling in now, but he only played 20 snaps last week, had 3 tackles plus a sack, so 4 total tackles on the game. So he's making a play at about 25% of the snaps. He's out there fucking making a play. And his 20 snaps were only 36% of the defensive snaps. So need to see him, play more, keep playing more, even if it's at the cost of Zaven Collins. I'm sorry. It just needs to happen. And
I love Zaven, and I've become a Zaven believer. But I think you're right. He is playing in a new role, so the consistency is not quite there.
Yeah, and I think Gardeck he just looks so much more polished. Like I with the Diamondbacks going on and work being so busy and shit, wasn't able to rewatch the game like I usually do the nights before. So I was rewatching it when I got home today, this evening earlier before we hopped on. And there's a play I'll probably end up posting it afterwards, where Gardeck and Christian McCaffrey are 1-1 in the open field on a rush play. And Gardeck literally gets down like he's a fucking defensive basketball player, getting down like that, like forcing McCaffrey inside, wraps him up, fucking flips him over for like, I think a 2-yard gain minimum. So he's a guy who, if he's not the leader, he's definitely top 2, 3 out there currently, since Buddha, is out of action as we speak.
And he was undrafted, right?
Yep. Back in 2017, I believe.
Yeah, worked. I just remember him working at McDonald's. And so I'm like, oh, it's like a cute story, but like you don't make the team or be a solid NFL player off of cute stories.
And you don't survive 4 different coaching staffs now. Arians, Wilkes, Cliff, and then fucking, this new staff. Like you don't fucking survive that unless you got something to you.
Yeah, so he's withstood the test time.
I would like to see his role expanded for sure. Because, and I was yelling it last year, and year before, it just seems like he's so vital on special teams. So I don't know if maybe that could be a reason they want to try to keep him fresh a little bit, but that dude's a fucking dog, man, and he's earned it. Like that's a guy. Like if you root against Dennis Gardeck, you're just a shitty human being. I'm sorry, like undrafted, working at McDonald's over here, and he's developed, so many pass rush moves, and he's just so technically sound, tackling wise. It's a joy to see because when I watch the tape, I don't have to even look for Dennis Gardeck. I'm like, who the fuck just made that play? I'm like, go back. Oh, that's Dennis fucking Gardeck again. Shocker. Like every week I post on Twitter fucking videos, and every week there's been at least 2 eye-popping plays by Gardeck where it's like, I have to post this. Like no one else has. Like, fuck, I'm going to fucking show like what he's doing. And that play last week against fucking the Cowboys, I don't know if you guys saw that on my Twitter account, where he fucking went underneath of the pulling left guard, and fucking literally bounced underneath. And someone in the comments was like, that's a fucking glitch, like a glitch in fucking Madden. Like that's exactly, he somehow went underneath, knocked out the guard's leg. I think the guard had to leave the game too, and made the tackle for a 2-yard, a yard gain, or, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. So, and I got a fucking retweet by Darren Urban on that one. So shout out D-Herb. Big fan Darren Urban of the pod. I see you, D-Herb.
Yeah, remember us when you're famous, Mac.
Yeah. Toes and Hoes. We're growing. We're growing every day.
We're building an empire over here. Subscribe to our OnlyFans, Toes and Hoes. Use promo code TOES for 50% off your first month subscription. We're kidding.
And for the Patreon subscriber, you guys get Toes weekly. So congratulations.
To all the new people in the chat, because we've been getting a lot of new faces in here, lots of good engagement. We appreciate you all. But I will warn you that we make a lot of Toes jokes.
Last week
the running joke is I suck toes.
That's not a joke, though. Let's be real. Come on, Colby.
It's reality.
Confirm it.
Shut up.
Let's be for real. Colby's underneath the fucking video right now. Pop your head up, Colby. Let's go.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
You're the toe and Colby's the hoe. There we go. Let's go.
Anyways, if you're still tuned in, thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you having a sense of humor.
Yeah. Anybody you going to the game this weekend?
I am going to the game this weekend.
Woo-woo. Who are you going with, Pops?
So Pops is gonna take my sister, but me being the spoiled princess that I am, I'm like, well, I want to go. I want to see Joe Burrow because I love me some Joe Burrow.
I have to boo that motherfucker. No, I'm kidding.
He's so handsome. I hate that he's playing like shit. And if the true OGs of this podcast know that I am a closeted, if the Cardinals never cease to exist, I'm a closeted Bengals fan because they remind me of the Cardinals of the AFC. Yeah. So I really wanted to go to that game, so it's like, all right, I'll buy you a ticket.
We need to win because I'm going to Ohio right outside of Cincinnati next weekend for my nephew's wedding.
Oh, you see that comment? You see that comment? I cannot confirm nor deny. Wow, Jackie.
I hate you guys.
All lowercase because he couldn't have time to put an uppercase for the I. He just cannot confirm nor deny. Just real quick. And she's like, bitch, get back to sucking. Stop. Get over here. But little do you know, I'm getting my toes sucked on right now, and those are only for Patreon subscribers. I'd like to thank my dog. Thank you.
Shout out Book. Isn't that your dog's name? Book?
Booker. Yeah.
Booker. Yeah.
Booker, and then we just got a Brussels Griffin, I guess, earlier this year.
A what?
And a Brussels Griffin. It's like a little fucking. It's like this big, full of just hair. It looks like a fucking big hedgehog or a rodent. And it's just fucking hair, and her name's Loretta.
That's a dog?
Booker and Loretta. Yep, the dog. I will pull open a picture real quick. I have it somewhere. But you guys continue. Will, you've been quiet. How many toes you got in your mouth right now?
Turn.
Will is 10 toes deep right now. No.
College Kings.
College things.
Hey, and I just want to say real quick, we have a lot of people in here. We thank you. We, really, really appreciate it. I know most of you guys have subscribed or liked, the podcast. If not, please do. And if you are on Twitter and are not in our group chat, Cardinal group chat, AZ Sports group chat, just let Jackie or I know, and we'll get you guys in there. It's a good time. Jackie runs that thing. So
that's where all the toe jokes come from.
If you guys
I'm not in it.
Jackie, hop in.
I'm not in it, so there's less pessimism.
Yeah, no, we're a lot of fun. We talk a lot of shit, talk a lot of cards, and then we are very raunchy in there. So if you want in on the fun, definitely message me.
And I found a picture of Jonathan Gannon, with some topless chicks on the beach. So I posted
if you want to see that kind of content,
there you go. So I swear to God, that's Jonathan Gannon, though. You can't tell me it's not.
I just woke up. What was it? Monday morning, whatever morning it was, Sunday. Titties.
Well, it's Jonathan Gannon with them. It has to be 25-year-old John. That's Jonathan. I'm looking at it right now. Toes and Hose. That'll be on the Toes and Hose podcast, but. No, but for real, if you guys, are on Twitter and you're not in any group chats, Cardinals group chats, there's a lot of cool people in there. So don't hesitate to let either Jackie or I know that you want to join. Hop on in. Everyone's chill as fuck.
That's where I met Colby. So you could potentially find your next significant other.
And I created that group chat, so you guys are welcome. So when you guys get married, I would like an invitation, please, and thank you.
It's a barefoot wedding, Mac.
Barefoot wedding?
Yep, no shoes allowed.
Okay. That's totally fine. And get a little toe suckage when I walk in. We're good. We're fine.
No, the group chats on Discord is just a big, giant group chat on Twitter. So if you want in, let us know. Maybe we should start a Discord for the Redbird Redzone.
We should. No, for sure.
Maybe.
Yeah, so the Discord chat is a little bit different when you're on Twitter, and it's like your DM. So it's literally a direct message, but you're in a group. We're about 55 deep right now, I think, something like that. There, Nick L. Woo! Don't get me excited. I don't know what's up with that one nipple all crooked and shit on there, but
they look like mine.
No, I cannot confirm nor deny. Colby.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah, but for real,
we have strayed so far from God's light.
But we're still talking about some of the Cardinals a little bit. I'm trying to find my dog, who everyone says she's so ugly, she's cute. I will find her. But go on.
Is there a player on our team that's like that? So ugly that he's cute?
I mean, could it be Gardeck? You got the hair everywhere. Dobbs. Yeah.
I called Dobbs the alopecian Martian.
That's mean.
I know. So I'm sorry.
You get more of that.
There
you go. I can't find it. But anyway, Will, your breathing keeps me alive. Thank you.
Sorry, I've been struggling lately.
It sends shivers down his spine.
So, sorry, I keep thinking about this team losing, and I can't help myself.
Jackie said we should all dress up on this podcast, which really would just be Jackie and I all, for Halloween. So if you guys have any Halloween suggestions, let us know. What mask did you say you had, Jackie?
I have a Beetlejuice mask.
Okay.
Or it could be a sexy hot dog. I have a hot dog costume. But
I think hot dog would be a little bit better than Beetlejuice. Maybe you can send me the Beetlejuice costume and I'll be Beetlejuice instead.
I have the full costume though. I'm gonna do it. You know what? Funny thing is that Halloween 2019, when we played the Niners on Thursday Night Football, my dad calls me up at work, was like, "Hey, my date for the game fell through. Do you want to come with me?" And I'm like, "Well, for one, I'm at work." My dad's like, "Fuck work, leave." Which it's like that's like not something my dad would say ever, because he's all about like you go to work no matter what. But he's like, "Can't you just leave?" And I'm like, "Well, I would, but I'm fucking dressed like Beetlejuice." And he goes, "Well, I mean," he's like, "How dressed up?" And it's his costume actually. So I'm like, "I'm wearing the full suit. And not only did I bring the mask to work, but I actually painted my face to look like Beetlejuice and then like sprayed my hair. So I was committed to the look. There was no time for me to go home, wash up, and change and make it back in time to go to the game. And I forever like hate myself. And that was like the one time Andy Isabella did something right in a Cardinals uniform.
Can I just say Michael Wilson has I looked up this stat. He has one less career touchdown than Andy Isabella does through 4 games. So that was a fun stat I looked up. I don't know why I looked that up, but
what are his stats versus DeAndre Hopkins right now?
Woo! I don't know. We'd have to have Kyle Odegaard on. He has all that, at the hit.
I'm gonna beg Kyle Odegaard to come on this podcast. He is my favorite Twitter personality related to the Cardinals. I know he doesn't work for the team anymore, but I would nut just to get Kyle Odegaard on this podcast.
Well,
what is that?
Oh, that's my ugly dog. Ugly but cute. Loretta. She looks like a big rodent.
That looks like
It's a dog.
I want to say something, but I feel like I'm gonna get canceled. So I'm just leaving it at that.
We have to hear it. Now we have to hear it.
No.
We call her our little piranha because she just fucking bites, or our little monkey because she's got like the nose and everything, like a gorilla. She's like our little like miniature gorilla. So that is.
Hey, what's up, Corey? Shout out Corey. Corey also does a podcast. He was our guest the first 2 episodes of this season. Now he's got his own Cardinalytics podcast. That's also a great listen. I know they recorded prior to us tonight, so if you want something to listen to after this, definitely check that out.
I was looking for their Twitter handle a week or 2 ago.
There is a fire happening in my dorm right now.
Will's on fire.
I'm not on fire.
Did you start a fire?
Is that someone like literally ringing the bell?
Bang,
bang, bang.
Motherfucker, I have to bail out. I am so sorry.
You're good.
Oh, good. Be safe. Don't die. That's
Keep
wild.
going.
That's
a first, folks.
That's an episode for us.
Yeah, but no, go follow. What is it? Cardinalytics. They have a Twitter account now, I believe, right?
Corey,
yep,
drop your infos. I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, drop it. So no, it's good to see everyone back in here. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Did you see Colby's comment?
Yeah, I know. It's fine. It's an ugly dog. But she's so cute. Like it's adorable. She broke her leg fucking a month after we had her because she was wrestling one of our cats on the fucking bed, and it started just doing zoomies around the bed and just flew off like a fucking right off a fan or something and just landed on the fucking smoked the ground and just started crying her fucking tail off. So she broke her leg. So that was terrible. But Cardinals versus Bengals, all-time 6-6. Cardinals 5-0 in Arizona, 1-0 in St. Louis. Bengals 6-0. Damn, that is a good stat, Mikey. So the Cardinals are undefeated. So each team is undefeated either home or away or at their home place, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling very good about this game. Because I feel, and I had put this in the description of this, and I want to get everybody's opinion, your opinion, Mac. I know Joe Burrow said that for the Bengals, it's a must-win game. Mm-hmm. Do you think for us it's a must-win game, given the fact that the Bengals are playing like shit, and we've just been kind of dropping these winnable games that, like for our reputation right now? I know we're not going to make playoffs, but do you think this is a must-win game?
No, just if we're going off of expectations to start the year, I think that Cincinnati would have the bigger must. If there is a big, if one team has more of a must-win game, I do believe it's still Cincinnati. At the end of the day, we just want to see this team play well, play competitive. And I forget who commented, like I think it was Craig, asking he can't see really how Cincinnati can win this game. A big way is if they get Joe Mixon involved and he's being productive. Cardinals have the 24th worst, 24th best, which would be 8th worst rush defense right now. So if you can get him involved with their wideouts that they have, if we don't get to Joe Burrow, it could be a long game for this defense. Like this is a championship worthy offense who struggled really, really bad. against a defensive secondary that is very young, unproven, and that does have holes. Like, let's not beat around the bush, Because what is it for us? What is it a must-win game for? Do we really expect our defense with, a rookie 6th-rounder in Clark and Marco Wilson, who was a late pick, who's still our number CB1? Do we expect this team to make the playoffs? Probably not. Like, I think if we had to choose between a top 5 pick or playoffs, we would all pick playoffs for sure. But the way this season's kind of trending, I just can't call it a must-win game for us. What do you think?
I mean, I just kind of threw the question out there just for a talking point. I don't like hot takes, but we need something to fucking talk about. But I mean, yeah, in the sense of playoffs, no, it's not a must-win game. But I mean, like, for the rep and like just to keep people believing in what we're doing, we have to come out and beat a shitty Bengals team.
And that's
how I feel.
No,
I feel like we need a very convincing win. I mean, the Cowboys win was very convincing, but the national media was more of just like, well, the Cowboys are gonna Cowboys, and they had injuries and Trayvon Diggs and blah 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 blah. But I feel like if we win, then they'll really give us our flowers. Is what I feel like. I feel like our reputation's on the line almost.
And the thing too, like, I don't feel like Gannon is anywhere near losing the locker room or anything like that, but I do have a similar feeling with us and like ASU football. ASU football has one win against a fucking, JV team, basically. And you have a new coach there. You have a new coach here. You can have all the fight, all the willpower, but when you look up at the standings and you end up seeing you're 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, 1-7, that's gonna fucking stack up. These are grown men. It's easy to rally a team in the first quarter of the season, but if you don't start stacking wins here eventually, then I do think that there is a chance to where, not that you lose the locker room per se, but where all this goodwill built up either within the fan base, players in the locker room, you do kind of lose that to an extent. So you want to be able to keep adding on and building what they've done so far. So this is a big game. But if it came down to a must-win for one of the two teams, we both have the same records, and one team had championship aspirations to start the year. So, yeah, if it was like we're playing the Jets or something, then yeah, that's a must fucking win.
Yeah, and everybody's saying, Joe Burr, he's not looking like Joe Burr, and he's gonna have to pull a miracle out of his ass to win this game. So
I mean, if he feeds
I hope it's true. I hope we don't get an ego that now that we play down to our opponents.
Honestly, if Marco Wilson is on Jamar Chase, why wouldn't you not feed him 15, 20 targets? I don't give a fuck. Like, if I'm Burrow, there's not a lot of other shit working. You have Jamar as and Jamar had a couple quotes last week that was or earlier this week where you can tell he's upset at not getting the numbers. He has no touchdowns through 4 games this year. And he was drafted fucking a top 10 pick in fantasy, football, and one of the top 3 wide receivers in the league heading into this. So if I am Cincinnati, I'm targeting fucking Jamar Chase as often as possible against these unproven, cornerbacks by the Cardinals. And that's right there. If we don't get to Burrow and he can get a little rhythm with, Chase and T. Higgins, and if, Joe Mixon. Yeah. And Joe,
Higgins won't play.
Oh, he's out?
I think he hurt his ribs. I only know this because I have him in fantasy and he's done shit for me.
Okay. Well, yeah, I know. I have Burrow and Jamar in a fucking dynasty league. So, like, Jesus fucking. Yeah, and my fucking QB that I drafted this rookie year is Bryce fucking Young. What a fucking dumbass.
Me too, dude. That's my one fantasy team. Joe Burrow. Wait, no. I have Bryce Young and a dynasty with the QB Superflex.
Yep.
So I'm like, let me fucking get Bryce Young as my QB too.
Right.
Fucking dog shit. Fucking, he's dog shit, and I picked up Josh Dobbs, who's actually been.
I picked up Dobbs in any league I could this fucking week too, just as like a backup. Fuck him, but we need to put Burrow on his ass. Yeah. I mean, if he gets a rhythm where we're not hitting him and he's standing in the pocket, which I don't believe he will, like Purdy did last week. Purdy had all the time in the world for the most part. Joe Burrow's been constant under pressure, and that's kind of been the theme of his career. But now since he has that calf injury and he's not as mobile, with his legs, that's going to hinder him. You hit him once or twice, he's going to feel it.
Yeah, he has to sit in that pocket. So
yeah, exactly. So that does benefit to the Cardinals for sure. I do think it's going to be a tight game at the end of the day. The Bengals are embarrassed. They're the better talented team, in my opinion, overall. So it is going to be interesting. Are you patting Colby's head right now underneath the table?
No.
Oh, okay.
I fidget a lot.
How long is your fucking hair? I don't ever remember your hair being this long.
Oh my! Stand up real quick. I'm wearing super short shorts. Never mind.
She's like, "Fuck, I'm not wearing any panties."
Yeah, no. You're welcome for the preview, everybody.
That was the toes and hose, but you just gave a little glimpse right there. Join our DMs, folks. Yeah. That's the longest I think you've had it since we've been on here.
Yeah, I cut it like 2 years ago. Now it's like super grown out. It's like down my back and like it's pretty close to touching my butt crack. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Want to do pick'ems?
Let's do pick'ems. Sorry, fucking
all
Will.
Right. Fuck Will.
You put Garrett Williams. I just want to say something real quick. Garrett Williams at CB1 without having any NFL experience. That's dangerous, especially coming off of an injury. I don't know. Is he guaranteed to play this week? I don't think so, because you need, 2 weeks of practicing, or you don't need it, but you have 2 weeks max of practicing after you come off the PUP list. Otherwise, you're done for the year. So I wouldn't count on Garrett Williams playing this week. If he does, that's outstanding. But I don't know if you put him at CB1 and have him play 98% of the snaps, like we've been seeing with Marco and Keytro. Just physically wise, maybe he can handle it. But week 1, I would be a little bit more cautious having him out there.
Yeah, it's too soon. When exactly did he hurt himself?
Who?
Garrett Williams.
Was that training camp, I believe?
Okay.
Yeah, it was early on.
He's got to get more reps than just.
Yeah, he hasn't played an NFL down yet. So
now, if we're heading towards the end of the season, I can possibly see a situation where he does beat out Marco Wilson and takes over.
It would be huge having him out there. We need as much competition as we can get right now out there, because when you're running out 2 unproven, first second year players forced into these roles, this isn't a fair spot for them. So if you can get any help you can. It would be awesome to see Garrett Williams out there for 20 snaps, if he's activated on Sunday.
Colby says that it was the draft. He's been NFI.
Okay, that's why he dropped in the draft. Okay.
Yeah. All right, y'all. If you're new here, we also pick all of the games. I kick ass and win. Sometimes. First win this year. First win in I feel like over a year. But everybody comment your picks in the comments. You don't get anything, just bragging rights, I suppose.
You get free 5 minutes on our Toes and Hose OnlyFans page. There you go.
There you go. All right. Do you have the list
of games?
Yes.
No.
Normally Will does this for us. We're very underprepared at the moment.
Yeah, with the Diamondbacks fucking doing their shit. Shout out to my brother Derek hooking me up with this fucking jersey for the wedding. That was our wedding gift for his wedding party. So dope, fucking stitched all up, Nike. So shout out to my brother fucking for hooking it up a little bit. But I do have the games right here.
Are you gonna write these down, or should I write these down?
I got him. I'll write him down. Yeah, Garrett Williams suffered an ACL injury against Notre Dame back in August of last year. So, good shit. Ready?
Yep.
No.
I don't know.
Jaguars, Bills.
It's in London, right?
It is, I believe. Yeah, they're having back-to-back games, Jaguars, right, in London.
Oh, then it's a Jags home game, as Will likes to say. So we're gonna go with the Jaguars.
Ooh-wee. I put Jackie and Will. I didn't even put my fucking name. I am going Buffalo. I just think they're the better team right now. Jacksonville, they did get off the schneid a little bit last week, but they were playing. Who are they playing? The fucking Jets or something. So moving along. Saints Patriots. That's going to be a closer game, I feel like. I will go Saints.
I will also say the Saints.
All right.
Bailey Zappi playing?
Last week, yeah, they benched fucking Mac Jones, but it sounds he'll be back. He'll be starting again. Titans Colts. I'm going Indy, even though Titans.
I too will go Indy.
Okay. Anthony Richardson does look pretty legit. He looks better than a lot of NFL starters out there. He gives the Colts a chance to win, seemingly.
I know, and I didn't think he was going to be shit.
Yeah, kind of
Good
from
for
that,
him.
kind of like that Josh Allen type tree where he's got all that physical talent and abilities, but just never really put it together, so to speak, in college. So it's good to see him step up. Let's see who we got. Ravens, Steelers. Who you got?
Give me the Ravens.
Okay.
I love the fact that the Steelers are dog shit this year.
Yeah, I think Baltimore's going to beat their ass. They got crushed by the Texans. That's never a good look. Another game, Panthers, Lions. I got to go Detroit, which I'm sure you probably will go as well.
I will also go Detroit.
Okay. We got Texans, Falcons.
Texans. Shout out CJ Stroud. Good for him.
Yeah, him going to that situation right there. Not a lot of people expected him to be able to produce in the first year, and he's missed a week, and they're still 2-2. So, I don't know how great that draft pick is going to be for us, but it is good to see him come into the league and produce for a franchise that's been looking for a franchise QB. Even though Deshaun Watson had his time there, and he was good, to start. He
diddles women, so fuck him.
Yeah. So we're going Eagles, Rams.
Eagles.
Yeah. Even that fucking Rams. How they always just find these wide receivers, man. That don't even fucking make sense. That Puka Nuka, whatever the fuck his name is. I got him in a couple leagues, and he's been carrying me, but hate to see it. Fucking, I thought the Rams would be a lot worse than they are. Jets, Broncos, the shit bowl game of the week.
Give me the Jets. Zach Wilson's due for one. At least one.
Is he, though?
I don't know. He likes MILFs, and I'm a mom, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Who doesn't like MILFs? Come on, man. I am going Denver. I think that there should be a little bit of an upswing for them, even though that defense is fucking god-awful. Russell Wilson hasn't looked as bad as I thought he'd look. I thought he'd regress even a little bit more than last year. But they're doing okay offensively, but that defense is dog shit. Let's see what we got. Chiefs, Vikings.
Vikings. Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think you got to. Vikings just got their first win last week, but Chiefs just have so much firepower. That should be a high-scoring game, though, if you're better.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Niners. I am going San Fran. I do think San Francisco is the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to San Francisco as well.
Okay. Packers, Raiders. That's a shit game.
That is a shit game.
For the Monday night game of the week.
It would be a lot better if it was not
shit.
Shit. Yeah. Give me the Packers.
To be a contrarian, I'm going to go Vegas against you.
Okay.
And now, our game of the week. Arizona Cardinals.
fucking guns
First,
ablazing.
the lowly, chili-eating, shitty Bengals.
The
Who you got?
Bengals. No, I'm gonna go Cardinals.
You'll be at the game. You'll be at the game. So we need to know all the first person's perspective of how everything looks there. Need you to tailgate a little bit, if that's not too big of an ask. I need to.
No.
Okay, there we go. Don't want you to get too drunk by halftime, though. I need you to remember this win. But you got the Cardinals, you say? Who do you? What's the score you got?
31-17.
Woo! I like it. I like it a lot. I am going to make it a little bit closer of a game. I'm going to go 23-20 Cardinals. Matt Prater game-winning kick. We're putting it.
Ice in his veins. Big Dick Prater. Letting it swing. Okay, I like it.
Winning Big Dick Player of the Week 2 out of the last 3 weeks, possibly. We'll find out.
Stay tuned.
Tune in. Thank you guys for all joining us. I think this week is a little bit more scattered than we usually are. I like to rewatch the full games. Wasn't able to. When you got the Diamondback games on at 4:00, you start drinking at 4:35. By the time the game's over, it's like,
man. Where did you watch the game last night?
At home. I was actually, because I get married October 29th. So we actually bought our wedding bands yesterday. So I got off work at fucking 3:30, met at fucking Jared's Jewelers, fucking 3:45. That took about a fucking hour. So she's picking out their fucking wedding band. Like that one I'll take right there. Let's get the fuck out of here. She's like, oh, let me go. Will, is that you I hear breathing?
No.
We just picked games, and honestly, you're finishing without a win this week. That sucks.
Can I at least pick mine?
You better go. You better fucking go.
All right.
Go. Rattle them off now.
All right. What are the teams?
Oh my
Buffalo,
God.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
New Orleans.
Patriots. I pick the Saints.
All right. We got Titans, Colts.
Colts.
We have Ravens, Steelers.
Ravens.
We have Panthers, Lions.
Lions.
I was going to say, you better not be a homer. Texans, Falcons. There we go. Game of the week.
Texans.
Yeah. Giants, Dolphins.
Dolphins.
We didn't even go over Giants, Dolphins, Jackie. I think we're both picking Miami, though, right? Miami.
Give me the Dolphins.
See what happens, Will, when you have fire fucking shit going on? Like, come on, man.
Will's fucking lying. Burning
Bring your
jerseys,
laptop with you next time.
burning books.
You're going Miami, Will?
Yeah. But if I did that, I'd have to scream "Go New York, go New York, go" in a place with like 200 people.
You don't have to. You literally don't have to scream that.
But it's in my veins.
You're not from New York.
I can scream it for you, Will.
There you go. Just wake up the baby, Jackie. How about that? The baby that has no nipple right now in its mouth. How about that?
I'm trying to do college things. I can't do "Go New York."
College things. I knew.
He would also like a nipple.
Toes.
Hey, yeah.
All right, Rams and who the fuck they got? Philly.
Rams.
Oh shit!
What?
Both of you homers. Jets, Broncos.
Go New York, go New York, go! It's gonna be the Jets, baby.
As your fire alarm goes off again. Like, what the fuck was that?
Because I'm
Chiefs,
spitting
Vikings.
fire, bitch. Okay, Chiefs, obviously. Jesus.
Yeah. Cowboys, Niners.
Niners.
And then your Monday game of the week.
The shit bowl.
Packers, Raiders.
The tickets to this game are $350. I can't think of a worse way to spend it. Packers.
And now, your
Arizona Cardinals versus the chili-eating Cincinnati.
You copy me. Why you gotta copy? You were listening to us, weren't you? Copying me.
Kick his ass.
What else can you say about Cincinnati?
Shitty Bengals.
The Bungles.
The Cincinnati Bengals will lose this game. Go Cardinals!
What? That's a terrible sign, folks. God damn it, Will.
All right, pack it in, everyone.
What's the score?
It'll be 20-17.
Cool.
Okay.
Right on, right on. Well, thank you guys all for joining us. We're going to keep trying to be better. This is an interesting week for all of us. Next week, we're going to do Tuesday night, I believe. So please tune in Tuesday night. We're going to have a good time, spend about 45 minutes, hour talking about our Cardinals, and hopefully it's going to be after a win.
And I know it's TCR live that night, so you don't be afraid to watch the playback. But I appreciate everybody for coming in. I started to drop it in the TCR Discord, so if you had seen that and you jumped in, I appreciate you. I love you, and you will see me on TCR again soon.
This podcast has the second best fans in the world, followed by Arizona Cardinals fans, baby.
Facts. All right, Will, take us out.
All right. This has been a fire-filled episode of the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at Live on That Swing.
I think you meant a fire festival type podcast, but that's totally fine. I'm Matt. You can find me on Twitter at AZ Sports Fiend. That's FIEN.
And I'm Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at JSanDiego. That is with 2 O's.
And we are out.
2 O's and 10 toes. Bye.
O's and toes later.